I really, really love having written. Like, I love having books. I love it when I can get to the editing stage of a story and I've got some raw material that I can work with and actually shape it into something a reader might enjoy. I also really enjoy the outlining phase where it's all fresh ideas and you're coming up with the key plot points and fleshing out your characters. That is all fantastic. It's just that bit in the middle, which is the writing part, which I don't really like. And that was kind of a flip off the cuff comment that I made in that particular call that we were in with Jeff, but it does hold true. I don't enjoy first drafting particularly, so I like to do it as fast as possible so that I can get it out of the way, and then I've got raw material to kind of work with. The editing phase is much more fun for me because I'm doing things like putting in the red herrings, the foreshadowing, and all those fun things that kind of make a story great, as opposed to telling myself the story where I don't really know what's going on. So I think that's where it comes to for me. I find personally the first draft the hardest part of writing.
So you're dealing with that in part, I guess, by doing it quickly. Do you think that's necessarily a problem?
This is a really tricky one. I mean, for me personally, by doing it quickly, I've certainly gotten better at producing cleaner drafts the more books I've written. I wouldn't necessarily recommend whizzing through a first draft if this is your first book. When I wrote my first book, I spent the longest time on it. And then with each book, it gets successively shorter. So part of it is knowing your process. If you know, broadly speaking, what your process is, and that does change from book to book slightly, but if you know roughly how long it takes you to draft, I think that helps. And I don't know if you know about Clifton Strengths, but I have #1 futuristic in my Clifton Strengths. So I think what happens is I sit down, I have the idea for the project, and in my head, it's already done. So I'm kind of seeing it as done. And I think that's why I don't like the writing part so much, because I actually have to do the thing. It's not already done. And that's not what my futuristic brain wants to hear.